Then Devhuti, Ahuti, Prasuti. Three girls and two boys. 25 children. So, and now from them the further world population will expand. So this way Lord made an arrangement where, your female machine is the male machine. If you keep on multiplying more and more. Like you can see a male dog and a female dog, a male cat and a female cat. And population can go on. And Brahma also kept a pleasure coating when a male and female contact each other. So one wants to experience the pleasure when meeting with the opposite mate. But the pleasure is compensated by the raising of the child. When a man and woman come together and beget a child, then the raising of the child from the childhood up to the age of probably 15 or 20, they will take a lot of headache, trouble. Both mother and father have to take. But if a man and woman come together without a religious sacred tie, and they just unite and abort the child, then they will also be aborted in the next life. Or they will be slaughtered in a slaughterhouse or something like that. So one is not allowed legally or shastrically to do that. So therefore, Brahma was very happy that another population can go on, because the system of marriage between male and female is instituted. The Lord himself. So the first son, Uttanapad, he got married and then he got Dhruva, and then Dhruva's descendants were continuing taking care of the kingdom. And the father was getting older. Who? Swambhava. So he went to forest to take vanaprastha. At that time, the Uttarapad's lineage gradually experienced a dead end. There was no one to continue the lineage now. Because sometimes it may so happen that there is no son, only daughters are there. The Vansh cannot continue now. So at that time, the responsibility again came back to whom? Came back to whom? Swambhava, father. Then actually the father wanted to make the second son the king. Who is it? The other clear daughters. But then Priyavrat had left the palace, gone to the Gandhamadana Parvat, where he met the great sage Narada, who taught him about detachment, about austerities, penances, devotion to Krishna. And he joined the program training under Narada. And he became more and more purified. The more he got purified, the more he experienced spiritual bliss. And then he thought, what is the need for going to the next order, Radheshyam? Just remain a celibate and then in this way spend your whole life till the last breath. Go back to Godhead. That was his plan. Whose plan? Prabhu. So and life was going on peacefully in Gandhamadana for Narada and Prabhu. There was no one to obstruct that life. But now there was a sudden requirement. The throne was empty. There was no one to lead the world. Like Samik Rishi was telling Shringi, we will read in the later chapters in the first canto, when we will read the 17, 18, 19 chapters, we will read. When Samik Rishi's son Shringi had cursed Parikshit to die, at that time Samik Rishi tells the son, oh my foolish son, boy, what have you done? If a king is not sitting on the throne and ruling the world, all the praja will become like sheep, which will be attacked by tigers or lions without a master. They will become easy victims of rogues and thieves who may loot their property and molest their wives. And in this way, there will be anarchy without a king. And not only that, he said the general mass of people will become geared towards self-gratification. They will watch cinemas, they will play gambling, they will do illicit connections, they will take intoxication. The whole world will become submerged in sinful activities because there is no king to institute proper dharma. And people will also become excessively greedy and start looting each other's property, and there will be quarrel, there will be conflicts, there will be misunderstandings. So he said to his son, you have done a very great injustice. The king was beautiful in direction and he caused him to die in 7 days. He would have done very great. He said it's not just to him. He is like a big Vatavraksha, like a big banyan tree which is offering shelter to so many birds and ants and so many passers-by and everybody. It's like cutting down such a tree. You will have a very great service. So from that point you can understand this point. How if there is no king sitting on the throne, there is no leader to discipline the people in the world without purposes, without being disciplined, without being self-controlled, without being obedient. No one can please the spiritual master. Without pleasing the spiritual master, no one can go back to body, proper life. So people in general, they need two very important things. One is that psychophysical nature should be engaged in varna and ashrama. Varna, suitable job should be there from which they can make money. And then the livelihood is earned, they can maintain wife, children, family, mother, father. So the family becomes peaceful. And when they are sitting on a peaceful platform, then they can take the spiritual life seriously. And nowadays with the AI invasion, there is a very big dearth of jobs now. One new development they do in AI, 20,000 jobs, 50,000 jobs, 1 lakh jobs are going away. So this is a very great threat for the future of the world, because when people become jobless, and somehow they have to get the money to maintain their wife, children, family and everything. So when they don't get it, then they will adopt some cheating means or looting. Cheating, looting will increase. So therefore it's the king's duty to make sure that every member of the society has meaningful employment. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Brahmanas are studying Shastras and preaching. Kshatriyas are ruling and organizing, protecting and everything. And the Vaishyas are generating economy and giving charity to Brahmans and tax to the Kshatriyas and protecting Shudras by giving them for clothing, shelter. So the king is required to institute that in the society. And also other thing the king has instituted is the spiritual progress for all the living beings. For that to establish temples, conducting sacrifices, celebrating utsavams, and bringing all the people to the temple and then organizing preaching programs and satsangas. And then sadhu sangha, by that people's hearts will become purified, they will become peaceful. So material welfare, spiritual welfare, both should go hand in hand. That's beauty of the king. And without such a king sitting on the throne, the whole world will be like a boat without a captain. It will be, imagine a boat in the middle of Atlantic without a captain who is steering it. What will happen? It will go astray, or it will undergo some shipwreck or something. So there's a need for a very good leader everywhere. So that is why now, so I am already old, I am supposed to retire now. At this time of my retirement, the whole burden of the worldly kingdom has come on me. So now how will I do it? So then he went to his second son, Priyavrata, in Nandavadana Parvata, and said, my dear son, I respect your renunciation and your enthusiasm for going back to Godhead. But now some duty is calling me now. Please come back to palace, get married, maintain the world, so that and you relieve me, so that I can go and practice spiritual life. So it's a very amazing pastime it is, because father and son both are competing to become renounced. Generally, in this world, you find it very amazing thing. Like one time in one of the ISKCON temples, one boy joined full time. So his father came. The father was 62 or 63. So this boy already he felt he is late in joining. By the time he joined, it was 30, 31. Boy also was late. So what he earned practically 20-30 lakhs and gave parents, settled his sisters, marriage, everything. Very responsible boy. Did everything at the age of 30 he wanted to join. Now the father is 62, 63 now. He's retired now. He's at home. He came to the temple and said, how can I take my son? I want him to go abroad and make more money and build a very big house. Now that I am retired, I am only getting pension. I thought he will bring a lot of money. wants to go, he can go. We don't mind that. But the boy didn't want to go. He wanted to stay. So then he said, if he stays in the temple, then who will take care of the house? Who will take care of his mother and father? Then the devotee said, okay, you are such a you come in. He can go back. Because he is young, let him take care of the business and family and everything. He can be there. Father was shocked then. He said, that I have to think more. I think that Mama did never get back. He went away. So here, the father is committing to continue the material world. And the son wants to renounce, but he wants to pull him also in the material world. Both, he feels that I will continue my material life, my son can also continue material life, and none of us have to do spiritual life, like that is father. So, whereas here you find, the father says that, my dear son, you are already very nicely trained and learned. If you become a king of the world, you will not fall down. You will not become entangled in this world. You take the responsibility. And you are a devotee. Devotee will be protected. And then you will leave me so that I can do my spiritual duties. And his request was reasonable. Who? Sama's request was reasonable. But then, being Sarvan being his father, so they were very politely refused. Respectfully and politely, he refused and said, no, father, I am not interested in taking the world like that. Now, it's very amazing because imagine if somebody calls you and tells you, I want to make you temple president of some project. Many people will be all out for it. You will go running. Thank you for the post. You may take a visit. But why his son is refusing, there is a reason. Later on, there is one word used. I'll just check whether I can get that. There is one section will come now. One of the verses will come. Vishama Vishaya Jalashaya. So this verse number is 5137. 5137 he says, Aho asadu anushtitam yad agnineshitoham indriyai avidyarachita vishama vishaya unnati. No. There is one more word. One more. This verse is 5122. 5122. Manadati Parenaimam Pratisandita Manoratah Surarishi Varanumatena Majam Akiladhara Mandala Sthiti Buddhaya Asthapya Swayam. Then comes the word Ati Vishama Vishaya Vishadalashaya Shaya Dashaya Uparadama. The last line means, see what he is saying here. Surarishi Vara Anumatena Majam. Majam is son. Surarishi is Narada. So Narada allowed Devadatta to go and get married and then become a king. So Anumatena Atmajam Akila Dhara Mandala means the entire world. It is Akila Dhara Mandala. Sthiti Guptaya Asthapya. So he posted his son to take over the kingship of the world. And then what he did? Swayam. What he did? Ati Vishama Vishaya Vishajala Ashaya Ashaya Kavaradama. He said. Which means the meaning of that is said, if you see. Ati Vishama means very dangerous. Vishaya means material affairs. Visha means poison. Jala Ashaya, ocean. Ashaya from desires. Kavaradama means he got relief. You see, dealing with land, dealing with money, dealing with women, dealing with gold, these things are very delicate matter. There is always a danger that one can become attached to them, one can get distracted from spiritual life, and one can develop enmity, envy, vigilance, anger, pride. All these things can come. These items cannot be criticized. You cannot criticize gold or land or money or women. You cannot criticize. Because these items are passive items, which is man who develops attachment to them. For example, when Satraji developed attachment to Shamani Kajwai and the whole pastime you see, 4 or 5 people are killed in the pastime because of attachment to gold. You can see that. One Purudava developed attachment to Urvashi. So much mishap happened in the pastime, you see that. How much he suffered very bad. Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra, they both are attached to land and the whole dynasty was destroyed. You can see that, isn't it? Attachment to land, attachment to gold, attachment to women, attachment to money, all these things. So that's why it says, Ati Vishama, very dangerous. Vishaya, material affairs. Visha, poison, it says. It's like poison, it says. Just as when you eat poison, the person dies. Similarly, when you indulge in these things and become attached to them, your spiritual life dies. And it says, Jala Ashaya, ocean, Ashaya, from desires. And the ocean of material desires, Gopala Rama, he got relief completely. So, he felt happy by that relief. Who? Simon. But then he got relief, but who got the responsibility? Clearly got responsibility. He has to take that responsibility. That is why in Vedic times, people were very happy to take the spiritual life and not get too many material responsibilities and passions. Now, in our moment also, if you are a devotee who is just a preacher, you just go here, there, and you just give lectures, and you can be lovable by all. People see you in the media, people say, oh, what kind of devotee? Because you don't manage it. The moment you become a manager, then many people will start pointing fingers. You will see that, like Brahma, for example, is criticized by the gopis. Gopis say, Agatiya Braja Abhikananam you will not get the smartphone, you will not get the laptop. So some facilities are deprived, some sanctions are limited. That's how it makes the manager a bad guy. You understand why the manager becomes a bad guy. Also, the manager is one who is supposed to get the work done from people. Generally, humanity want to play all day. Just be free on their own, without anyone supervising them. They don't like to be under the nose of someone. They want to be independent. But the manager is the person who is good to supervise. What is like supervision means his nose is above your head. Super. And vision means he is watching. Who is doing what? So then you see that, Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti. Krishna says, Adi means above. Aksha means eyes. Adi Aksha means Krishna's eyes, the sun and moon, watching the nature. That's the meaning of Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti. Suyate Sakarasa. But Prakriti is very happy when Krishna glances at Prakriti, she produces everything very happily because Prakriti is Durga, Krishna's sister. And she is very happy to collaborate and serve the Lord. But because we are not yet purified, and the manager is supervising us, Prabhu, this is the service you have to do. Because manager is a service allotted. The living is saying, alas, now my freedom is gone. I thought I can enjoy today, free day. Half a day he is occupied with services. This is how the manager becomes a bad guy. You understand how? So, the manager has to do all these things. That is why many people want to be a good guy in others' eyes. They say, I don't want to take responsibility. I can just, So, at the same time, very important, Prabhu says, accepting responsibility is very important. If it is given, because management in Krishna's organization like ISKCON is also for the pleasure of Prabhupada and for the pleasure of the divine couple. So we should not shy away from the responsibilities that come in our life. If it is awarded by Guru, one should not try to escape on a successor and try to do, one should be in the mood of a facilitator and the mood of a servant. And one has to say what you have to say. Every manager has to say what he has to say. He can say politely, in a friendly mood, understanding the situation of the source. So in this way, when Devadatta was asked by Swayambhu, he had denied. Now Swayambhu went and reported to Brahma. He asked Brahma, see, you are my father. Now my son is not accepting the worldly kingship. So now what am I to do? Should I go for Vanaprastha, just keeping the throne empty? Or will you help me to ask my son to take the responsibility? So Brahma said, okay, I will come. So Swayambhu is like temple president, Brahma is like GBC. GBC is coming now. So when Brahma came, he didn't come alone, he came with many rishis, many devatas, many associates. He came in a swan carrier, all of them coming flying from Satyaloka, they descended here. The Gandhavan and Prabhu, that's a helipad. They descended. So, and they came, arrived, immediately came Narada, Swayambhu, they all observed that the great soul has arrived. Immediately they rushed to go and offer him obeisances, offer him, flowers at his lotus feet, offer him garland, offer him a seat of esteem, respectful seat, and also praised him with choice poem, very, very wonderful poetry, because Brahma represents the Supreme Lord for them. Like this is a Sakshat Haritvena Samasta Shastra. So, somebody is in the position of a guru, that person should be respected as if we are respecting the Supreme Lord himself. That kind of respect should be given. Actually, these are all etiquettes. You will see the way, for example, sometimes you go for a program where the things are very disorderly. For example, things are unclean. Something is stinking. Because garbage is not thrown out. So everybody's attention goes to the bad smell that is coming. Or sometimes you find there's no seat for the speaker to sit. You just sit on a chair. Actually, the ordinary chair is given to all why this seat is given. It's not that this is giving respect to the speaker. This is actually what seat is called as Vyasasana. Vyasasana is supposed to be different from the normal seats. So somebody in my video, I need to ask him, why Swami is sitting on a very, very gorgeously decorated, very big seat. So I didn't reply that, but somebody else replied, this is not Swami's seat, this is Vyasadev's seat. So Vyasadev's seat is Swami is allowed to sit because he is going to speak on behalf of Vyasadeva. After he will get down, don't worry, he will take the seat. Somebody replied very nicely. So this seat is not given just because I want this seat. This is actually given for everybody. Why this seat is so nice? Because people who clearly understand that the message which is coming from this seat is very important, it's very weighty. The word guru means weighty. It has weight. So now you put a simple chair and tell a person, you just sit and speak. That means you are not respecting the person. And also, people also are not going to take his message to this case. Like when I go to sometimes youth programs, sometimes person they put a chair and put a white dhoti on the top of it. Similarly, here also they put a white dhoti. I said, hey, white dhoti, you should not put here, you should put silk cloth for the Bhagavatam. How many of you see Bhagavatam paper and a silken cloth? You have seen that? Yeah. You should go and get fancy from silk, very attractive. It should be shining like gold. And then when you keep Bhagavatam on that, then immediately people understand this is something very respectable. I should bow down to Bhagavatam. Similarly, the feet also you put. If you want to put some cloth, you should not put a white cloth. You should put a silken cloth. Again, the same point, silk cloth is not for the person, it is for the gas. It's respectable. And so I used to tell the boys that, or sometimes they would just get some cloth or simple, this is also said thing, but some kind of some other gaudy cloth. I don't know what is the word gaudy, you understand what is gaudy cloth? Like some yellow cloth or some brown cloth or anything like that. It should be a silken cloth when you are offering. So here Brahma is coming. How Brahma is being welcomed? The people going welcoming garland and offering on the street, bowing down to him. And to the degree you welcome a superior person with great reverence, respect, affection, sincerity, and you are very attentive in doing everything. That makes a very big difference. Like for example, sometimes people purchase a garland in the market with all this jarigay, what do you call it?
Glistering.
Silver paper.
Some glistering things. Okay.
Shining things. You get ready-made garlands, correct one? And that will have a banana and this thing also here. I know that definitely they didn't make it. They got it. Correct one? They just got it. So, of course, that is also sincerity. At least they got a garland at least. It's good. But imagine, even if you make a simple garland with your hand, and then you offer it, that is considered a million times more valuable. Like this is made by somebody and then offer to Krishna and then like that. Similarly, you are organizing a program. Even some Matajis come together and cook prasad for 50 people or 100 people. It's difficult to cook, not very easy. That involves austerity, which is called as tapasya. If they do that tapasya and feed the people, then the Matajis make tremendous advancement in spiritual. And the people who eat that prasad, which is coming from ladies who are work, devotee ladies who work together and cook, they also make a advancement. Of course, one of the easiest things nowadays people do is get a ready-made garland, they offer to the speaker, just catering, and call them catering agent, just supply. So then the organizer doesn't do any tapasya. There's no tapasya involved. For garland making, no tapasya. For cooking, no tapasya. And even when the lecture is going on, they are attending to phone calls outside. Why? Because they didn't do tapasya. When you do tapasya, you become purified. When you are purified, your eagerness to hear increases. When your eagerness to hear increases, when you sit down and hear, you become further purified. In this way, you go. See, this is the beauty of Vedic life. And where all these things are connected. You will see that. One home where I went, so they always have a program. But then both mother, father, and children, none of them were there. Only the house was there. So later on, when the program got over, they came. And the father has gone to take son for karate class. And mother has taken the daughter for Bhagavatam class. They both went away. They gave the house. So I was telling the organizer, Prabhu, see, we have given the house. You should make a plan for them also to get purification. You should tell the host, if Swamiji is coming to give lecture, you should definitely get home. Cancel the karate class, cancel the Bhagavatam class. Sit at home because you are the host. Host should be there. And the host was telling, because they asked my house, I gave the house. But we do the upload program. The whole Vedic program is one of purification. So because the Mataji is devotee, Prabhuji is not a devotee. Mataji will tell Prabhuji that today Swamiji is coming, you have to be at home at any cost. So the Prabhuji also being at home, sitting and hearing lecture will get purified. That's the whole idea. Whole the Vedic program is to get purified by austerities. Here Brahma is descending. Immediately everybody is doing austerity. They are taking out their time, throwing away everything else to the wind. Go and garland him, welcome him, offer him a seat, praise him for all his services and everything. He is actually the first great living being, Brahma. He is Atmaja. He is the son of the Supreme Lord and he is Padmaja. He is born in the Padma, correct? Lotus from the Supreme Lord's navel. And he also is disciple, the first disciple of Lord Vishnu, to whom the Lord gave him knowledge. Yeah. And he has 4 heads, and his body is made of intelligence. Very great personality. So he is coming. So they all respect him. And now Brahma is going to speak to Priyavrata. And Brahma is going to tell Priyavrata that, my dear Priyavrata, when you go to the forest, you are not going alone, you are going with your 6 wives, he says. You want to go with 6 wives, mind and 5 senses. So, even when you renounce the world and go to the renounced order, your mind and 5 senses will not be allowing you to peacefully continue. They always agitate you. So, therefore, you accept the household order and be the king of the world. I have detected in you, you have a Kshatriya mentality. You are born in a Kshatriya family. You have Kshatriya mentality. And you have the ability to lead the world, rule the world. And there is absolute requirement for ruling the world. And in the event of no ruler at the top, the world is going to be misled. So keeping this great service in mind, kindly accept this service which is coming to you. And Brahmaji compassionately looked at him. The compassion means, I, your great grandfather, which means his father is, of course, he is not great grandfather, he is grandfather. Because his father is Swayambhava. And for Dhruva, he is great grandfather. For Dhruva. For him, for Priyavrata, his father's father. Brahma is father's father. So he said, I am a grandfather. I am looking at you compassionately with assurance that in case there is any possibility of you becoming weak in spiritual life, my instruction will protect you. Do not worry. And he also smiled because there is a competition between the grandfather and the grandson. Grandfather is trying to post him in the king's job, and the grandson is trying to escape that. That's why Brahma is smiling. Prabhu explains that. Now, I want to also answer the question about now Kumaras refused to marry, but Priyavrata agreed to marry, isn't it? So let us see some examples from the scriptures where the Guru is ordering and the disciple is not accepting. There are cases like that. And there are other cases where Guru is ordering and the disciple accepted that. For example, Arjuna in Mahabharata, we find he refused to fight in the beginning. He put the bow down and then he said, Nayos means I am not going to fight. Nayotsi iti Govinda. Uktva Tushnim. Tushnim Babu means he became silent. But then he was crying. But then Krishna gave him guidance by Bhagavad Gita. Then he picked up the bow and he fought. Correct, no? Then he surrendered to Krishna's order. Similarly, like Rama also, he surrendered to the order of his father because he wanted to uphold the duty and the promise given despite having to do personal sacrifice. Yesterday he was told you are going to be the king. Next day he still go to the forest for 14 years. Because the duty was calling him, he was ready to make a personal sacrifice. Similarly, Nachiketas also in Katha Upanishad we read his pastime. His father was giving charity and this boy was constantly asking questions to him. He was getting irritated. Father said, "Shh, keep quiet, I am giving charity." The son would ask, "Papa, what are you going to do to this man? Are you going to give cow? Are you going to give clothes?" And the father said, and the son asked the father, "Are you going to give me also in charity?" I really asked. And father said, "Keep quiet. If you keep asking this question, I will hand you over to Yamaraj," I really said. And then immediately in the same queue of people coming for charity, 2 Yamadutas also joined with hands. They said now that he said he's going to give Yama. In those days, if you spoke a word, immediately it become true. Immediately Yamadutas joined and said, "Sir, you said you are going to give your son to Yama, we have come." So now Nachiketas was ready to accept the challenge. His father had to hand over. So sense of duty and higher cause, because father has given a vachan. Pranam vijaya, vachana jaya, he said. So the son was ready to go to Yama's. He said, "Okay, father, because you spoke that word, I want to align with your words." So he went. Similarly, in this way you will see there are many examples. But the Shastras, they say that whenever you are going to follow something, it should be for either to make sacrifices or to follow the order of a superior, or because it is dharma. Therefore one should do. Even if it is painful, one should do it. So now, I will give you other examples where somebody denied that I will not accept. For example, the 4 Kumaras, when their father told them, Brahma told them to marry and beget children, they refused. So Brahma became very angry. At that time, from his eyebrows, Rudra was born at that time. We hear that. So now when Brahma is the creator of the universe, is the father of the 4 Kumaras, he said them to marry. So when they refused, why they refused, we should see that. Because they were already embarking on the path of renunciation. And they were already well situated in celibacy. They were pure-hearted. They had no inclination for marriage. Because if they marry, they will spoil the life of a girl. Imagine, for example, if a person who has already awakened renunciation fully, he has no material inclination at all. Forcibly, parents get him married. And the girl will see that she is alone at home and this fellow is all the time in the temple, doing services, chanting, dancing, going on Sankirtan. And the girl confesses to her parents that this fellow does even look at me. He is completely satisfied. He is in his own ananda. Then the girl will ask her father, "Why did he give me Kanyadan to such a boy?" So, one of the reasons not to marry is if one has no plans to beget children and raise a family, then one should not marry and spoil the life of a girl. So they thought that we are already renounced, we are celibates. And also we want to devote our life for a higher purpose. So that is one of the reasons, devotion to the spiritual code. That's the main reason. They didn't feel the need for any procreation and household life at that time. And also, scriptures also sanction renunciation, correct? No? Like for example, according to Vedas, if you go to a Gurukula, first 25 years, and then afterwards the brahmacharis divided into 2. Some of them became Naishtika brahmacharis. Some become Upakurvana brahmacharis. So Naishtika brahmacharis remain celibate for life. Like Jananamas Prabhu, Pangajagar Prabhu, 2 brothers, they remain brahmacharis all through. Now, the other category, Upakurvana brahmachari, are like Krishna, Sudama, Balaram. They do training and then they enter household. Correct? No? So is allowed. So they were thinking, when there are two options, our father is telling to take one option, we would like to take the other option. Like that, they thought. Both are legitimate paths. They thought like that, based on the higher path. And also, when they denied to their father, they did it very respectfully. It is very important. Whenever you have to say no, because superior is saying. So, with humility and reverence, they wanted to align with Dharma. So they politely expressed that. And Brahma also later on accepted. Brahma understood that if they embark on the path of renunciation, they will actually help the living beings to ultimately go back to Godhead, which is also the goal of Radheshyam also. Because Dharma, Artha, Kama, finally, Moksha, and then you come to Bhagavad. Either you go in this way or you go in this way. My sons are directly ending at the last goal. Let them go. Double promotion, triple promotion, right now. It's triple ending, isn't it? Brahmacharya plus the to 1 plus 1 plus 2. Sannyas. So they went to Brahmacharya to Sannyas, whatever. It's like that. So Brahma allowed after that. He accepted. Yeah. So it's based on their svabhava. They saw their own svabhava and they thought that we should not just blindly follow what we are told to follow. We should check according to svabhava and dharma what I am doing. They were first of all very sure about it. And then they respectfully disagree. They followed the higher calling, isn't it? So one very important thing is the dharma is not like a stone, it is very flexible. There is a lower dharma, there is higher dharma. Because when you talk of lower, for example, a boy is working in the army, 10 years they trained him as a soldier. Now he wants to go for the war. Mother is crying, should he go for the war or should he stay with the mother?
Go for the
Huh?
Go for the war.
Yeah, just go for the war. He has to give up a smaller family for the larger family of his nation. Is it not true? Then there is a lower dharma and there is higher dharma. So which dharma you should follow? Higher dharma. Similarly, one wants to, one is fully convinced of the ultimate goal of life. One says that I want to give up a smaller family, accept the sky as my roof, accept all the 8 billion population of the earth to be my brothers and sisters, all the Krishna says, Naham Gita Prada Pita, Krishna is my father, Vedas are my mother, all living beings are my relatives. So then such a person has developed a broad consciousness. So Udara Dhi. I am Nijaparo Vekti Gadanam Lakuchetasam Udara Charitanam Tu Vasudha Eva Kutumbakam. That verse says that Manatutu is narrow-minded consciousness like a frog in the well. But real consciousness is broad consciousness. Lord is the Father. 40.4, Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita. What is the verse? Sarvayom Vishnaute Yamurtayas Sambhavantiyaha Tasam Brahma Mahatyonir Aham Bijam Pradahapita. So when you understand this very deeply, then you renounce the smaller frog in the well consciousness, then you are in Atlantic consciousness. You have a broader consciousness. So, keeping the higher dharma in mind, that means dharma is flexible, one should know how to apply the dharma very carefully. Yeah. And then we may also have a question, what about Dhruva? Dhruva even got a Vaishnava guru, like Narada. When Narada Muni initially gave him instruction to return home, he said, you're a small boy, just return home and play with other children. Why are you so upset with your stepmother? Everything will be alright. Like that he said. But then Dhruva told him, sir, you are talking of very high realization, but my current level of realization, is not giving me the strength to, follow what you are talking. Because, for example, sometimes you cannot artificially forgive someone, right? So he is telling that you are telling me to forgive my stepmother and then just go home and play and then forget it, but I cannot forget it from my mind. So Dhruva expressed the state of mind to Narada. He said, I want to attain a kingdom greater than Brahma's. This intense ambition was driven by a personal pain and sense of unfulfilled justice, which means my stepmother harshly treated me, and that is injustice, and I want to prove to her that, I also can achieve something intense ambition. Today also many people ask, my relatives are thinking that I cannot go to America, I want to prove that I can go to America, somebody says. But these people actually don't take shelter of Vishnu, that's the problem. Their mind is only filled with going to America. But they never chant the holy name, but Dhruva chanted the holy name. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So Narada actually was testing him. Because Narada thought, he's a 5-year-old boy. How can I teach him Ashtanga Yoga? Yama, Niyama, Pranayama, Asana, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. He said, at least you should be an adult, 14 and 20-year-old boy. Then you can practice this. You are too young to practice. But Prabhu said, no. Please have faith in me. I am determined to follow what you say. You are teaching many others this thing. If you teach me also, I am promising you that I will follow your instructions. Then Narada conducted the initial test to check whether he is ready for it. So he told him, you let go of your material desires and go home. See, there are 2 ways you can take in life. Like one boy wanted to join full time as a professor. But he had a desire to do MBA in IIM. The same simultaneously. So he asked me what I should do. I said, see, if you join the ashram now and you don't go for MBA, later on you'll be criticizing ISKCON that, I would have become an IIM MBA. And now, they went in outside. I said, don't keep this desire, you better write your CAT exam, and then crack it, and then go into IIM and then become an MBA. And then if you still have this desire, you join. And if you, that is up to you. The choice is made by whom? You. But in case you say that this is a material desire, it is useless desire, what am I going to do? Now I have so much more important things to do. Prabhu says the first kind of Srimad Bhagavatam, every Indian has the important duty of studying the Bhagavatam and taking it out of India to all over the world. The whole world is our audience. 8 billion population. So the world is on fire. Everywhere there are wars, misunderstandings, battles and everything. So if this boy strongly feels that his higher purpose should be fulfilled, and I have this material desire, what he can do? If he increases the higher purpose more and more, he chants more, reads more, and then he intensifies the desire, then this lower material desire will get dissolved. That will be burnt away. Then he will be extremely satisfied. So, now when I was in IIT, I did my MTech, and then my guide, without even asking me, he had talked to one of the universities abroad, and then he had arranged a PhD for me. He said 4 years PhD and 4 years job is assured for you. He said $50,000. So you go to US, you go to Orlando, and then you study in University of Orlando, Central Florida, and then everything he gave. So he put it on my table. I said, sir, I never thought you would sign up for me. So he said, which why will you say I don't want to go to America? I was convinced that everybody wants to go, so I signed up. I said, but I haven't signed up. So I have to think about it. So then I had no plan to go abroad because I had a desire to join full time and dedicate my life. Do job for 3-4 years and dedicate my life. So then I asked my Shisha, should I go abroad and earn a lot of money and give it for preaching? I think you need a lot of money for preaching. So he said between giving money and giving oneself, which is superior? Giving oneself. If you have the desire to give your heart to Krishna and engage as a full-time preacher, that is superior to giving money. Anybody will give. So many people will give. You ask yourself what you want. I said, I thought you need money. If you want preachers, I am right now ready. He said, first you work for 3-4 years, earn money, and then become very stable in your mind. I was at that time younger. So he said, at age of 25, you are more mature. You still have the desire to join. So I stayed in India, I didn't go. I worked for 3-4 years, and then at 25 I joined. Now I'm looking back, reflecting, I'm so blessed and fortunate because sometimes when the material desires are working in our mind, you don't know which direction to take. You can get misled in your life. So, material desire can be burnt away, or material desire has in a regulated way to later on transcend it. Later on you can go get it. So Dhruva Maharaj had a material nature, he became a king of the whole world. This is not true. Not only the king, he wanted a kingdom better than Brahma also. He wanted a kingdom Dhruvaloka, which is bigger and better than Brahma's Loka also. But when he saw Lord Vishnu, the desire got dissolved. So now they initially tested him. And then Dhruva responded with his inability to renounce his goal. That's the whole point. He didn't say, I won't follow your instruction. What he said? I am unable to renounce this goal from my mind. So, therefore, my Guru Maharaj said, don't tell anyone not to marry. Don't tell anyone to marry. What is this? Don't tell them to marry. Don't tell them not to marry. That means if you tell them not to marry, means you are telling them to be brahmachari. Right? If you tell them to marry, you are telling them to be brahmachari. So then I said, then what I should tell? You give them Krishna consciousness. And they should decide what they want to do. Whatever decision you take, you should take. You should take
strong
responsibility. You should take responsibility. Please repeat. Whatever decision you take responsibility. That's most important. You take brahmacharya, be responsible for brahmacharya. You take grihastha, be responsible to your wife and children, family, protect them. Whatever your decision you take, you should be responsible. Irresponsible brahmachari, irresponsible grihastha are not wanted. They're useless. They are troublemakers. You should take responsibility. So Dhruva took responsibility. He said, my dear sir, I am unable to renounce my goal at this stage of my spiritual evolution. Please give me an honest path by which I can fulfill my desire, my ambition. Please. Okay, Dhruva, you do this chanting, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, and you worship the deity of Krishna, go to Madhuman. If you are ready to pay the price and follow the process, very good. I see that you are very deeply sincere. So Narada didn't see it as a rebellion. See, the very fact Narada accepted him as his disciple shows that he has approved what Dhruva did. Did Dhruva act against Narada? No, he got approval. Because otherwise, how did he give mantra to him? He gave mantra, he gave a procedure, and then he fulfilled all those conditions and attained perfection. Yeah. So, because Narada saw the unshakable determination of Dhruva, it's a whole point. And he performed with intense austerity and attained a great devotion to Lord Vishnu. So much so, imagine we have a barrel full of hay, yellowish hay. You take one matchstick and put inside, what will happen? That's what happened to Dhruva. The fire is like Vishnu. So when he took Vishnu into his heart, all the materials just got completely burned away. Yeah. So from Dhruva we learn how determination can be a great virtue. Vyavasayatmaka buddhir. He surrendered with the purpose and then he attained the goal. So, and he got both actually. Vishnu granted him the Dhruva also, and at the same time he granted him Shuddha Bhakti also, both. Isn't it? So, one another example we will take. You all know the example of Bhishma. He was told by his Guru Parashuram to marry Amba, right now. Now, what is the background pastime in Mahabharata? See, Bhishma, went and brought Amba Ambalika, right now. And he brought them. Amba and Ambalika were snatched and brought by Bhishma, not for himself. He wanted to give them as wives to whom? He didn't want to enjoy. But then they fell in love with him. They wanted to marry him. He told, no. I brought you not for me. I am only a brahmachari. But then they went and complained. Amba went and complained to, that Swayamvara we were brought by him and he is not marrying us. So when the complaint went to Parashuram, in personal unity called Krishna, they you should marry him. That's what they are requesting. So he cited celibacy as a reason. I am a brahmachari, I can't marry. And because I have taken a Bhishma Vrata, solemn vow, I am not interested in this. If I have to keep my integrity, if I have to follow Dharma, I should remain brahmachari. But then our Parashuram was still said, okay, let us have a battle. Huh? If you win, then you can remain silent. If I win, because it's a Kshatriya, you have to fight. Huh? If I win, then you have to fight. Right? Huh? So again, he was respectfully disagreeing, like I told you earlier also. He had humility and reverence. He bowed down to Guru and told him that I can't marry, I taken a vow. And then eventually, the war, we fought so violently, and then Parshurama agreed. He also approved. And the whole matter was started. Correct, no? So from Bhishma, what do we learn? See, Guru's orders are not blind commands. One example I tell you. In 4.34, Prabhupada says, blind following and observed inquiry both are condemned. Like when Guru says to Bhishma, hey, see, she is crying, she wants to marry only you, so she will marry. So Guru wants to test also whether he is really keen to marry or not. And then he was not ready to marry. Then the Guru told her that you see, he is not ready to marry, but let us keep on competition. In the competition, if he wins, then let him continue what he wants to do. Isn't it? So he had unflinching commitment, Bhishma, especially he was a man of integrity. He wanted to follow the dharma that he promised. Because he had promised, because if he marries, then he will have children. And then the promise that he gave to Satyavati's father will not be fulfilled, isn't it? So in this way, with a higher perspective of dharma, he put dharma over, personal any other preferences. Yeah. So he put, it's like the bhakti for the dharma. He made it as a higher thing, isn't it? Now, higher than this example is Bali Maharaj not following the order of Shukracharya. Because Shukracharya saw that the effulgent Brahmana boy who has come, this boy is not ordinary boy. Who is he? He said, this is Sakshat Vishnu. And I don't know what is his intention. How Vishnu will act, nobody can predict. He's all-knowing, supreme. Maybe he has come to take away the property of the demigods from you. So better you deny him. And then he said, you may say that you have a word to him. How to take back the word? He said, you have not yet told Om. Yes, you have not told. And also, in marriages and in businesses where there is going to be life loss or money loss or property loss and all, people do tell lies. He was quoting some Purana, something he said, in this situation to save yourself, you can speak some lies. Then, Bali Maharaj silently sat and contemplated for a few moments and he said, he didn't immediately act. Then he thought, why my Guruji is saying like this? Then he understood my Guruji has some ulterior motive. What was his ulterior motive? He thought if this fellow loses all his property, I will not get my monthly salary. That was his worry. Then he refused to follow that kind of order. He said, ultimately whatever I possess belongs to Vishnu. So it should be given back to Vishnu. Vishnu is coming. So he made the Bhagavatam dharma over worldly dharma, or loyalty to Guru. People may say that, oh, how can you give up your loyalty to Guru? But then Guru is teaching a worldly value. So he went for a Bhagavatam dharma value. Like that, understanding what is right. He immediately thought of his grandfather. Who is he? Who is his grandfather? Radha Maharaj. He thought of him. Yeah. Because of his devotion to Supreme Lord. He became later Mahajan. That result, Lord made him Mahajan, made him next Indra also. So he had a commitment to the truth, full clarity. That's very amazing in that situation. It's really a test that Lord conducted for his devotion. Ultimate test, acid test, to check whether Bali is doing Atma Nivedana. Later on, Shukracharya also glorified. Shukracharya also glorified Bali, saying that because he took Shastra of Sankirtana, that one verse it says, Mantratas, Tantratas, Chitram, Deshakala, Ravastukalam, Sakalam Karo, Dirishchitram, and Sankirtanam, he says. He says that in this world, in Vedic yajnas, there can be some truti, some kind of imperfection can come in pronunciation and anything like that. But when somebody is chanting Hare Krishna, there cannot be any hole in that. All holes are covered. So Bali acted appropriately by surrendering to you. And therefore he has attained a very high position in one of the 12 Mahajans. In this way, Guru also later on glorified. So he understood Supreme Authority is Bhagavan over all. He understood that. Yeah. So he had the courage to do that, you see. Then so I gave all these examples because you need to know each of these personalities. If you see Bhishma and Parasha, example I told you, they respectfully declined Guru's instruction, but for following dharma. And Dhruva, another example, Dhruva was finding it difficult to follow. Like for example, if you are seeing a devotee tells you, you are so lazy, if you get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and chant 16 extra rounds, so what did I say? What did I say? Every day you also have a job, you are very chanting 16 rounds, devotees. You may say, oh, 2 o'clock is too early. By the time I come from company, take prasad and sleep, because 10 o'clock for me. At least I need 6 hours of sleep, otherwise my whole day will be lousy. So if you are clarifying, well, instead of 2, can I get up at 3:30? I know that I am getting late for the 1 lakh nowadays, always coming 10 minutes late. But give me some time, I will not start coming on time. I get up at 3:30 and get ready by 4. And temple hall and sit at 4 and chant like extra rounds or whatever. So in that way, clarifying our inability to follow the instruction is not considered insubordination or lack of surrender. That's what Dhruva did. Narada also saw that Dhruva is ready to follow the instructions and give him other instructions to follow Ashtanga Yoga. So Dhruva Maharaj wanted to fulfill the material desire, therefore he took one road. And Bali Maharaj transcended the material desires entirely and surrendered to Lord. So he disregarded the false instruction given by Shukracharya. And the 4 Kumaras and Brahma. So if you see Bali and Kumaras, both these people are not ordinary because they prioritize the devotion to spiritual truth over the father's orders. Both are very exalted personalities. Kumaras also for a spiritual purpose. Bali also for spiritual purpose. And Dhruva for a material purpose in the beginning because he had some ambition. But for that he was ready to perform the austerity, penances, guide by Narada, express his inability, difficulty. Like for example, one devotee was preaching to one wealthy man and said, you have to distribute 500 Bhagavad Gitas. So you come with me, every evening you come, it's marathon time now. Daily let us go and distribute. He said, I have a business, I have a shop. Our business is daily in the evening, how can I come? But he said, oh, you have been coming for the last 5-6 years. How can you grow in this person? Then the man said, okay, take this donation for 500 Bhagavad Gitas. Are you happy? Then the priest said, okay, now you are relieved now. So the priest said, because when you give donation, you get little purification. When you go and distribute the Gita yourself, you get more purification. But right now he is ready for more purification and little purification. So that way he expressed it. And then every year he started giving for 500 Gitas, 800 Gitas like that. Then he became purified such a degree, he gave his shop to his son. Then he started going on Sankirtan after that. So sometimes we are ready for this one purification, not ready for. That's what Dhruva was in that situation. Like this. So this way we can see the situation of Prabhu. Prabhu had a chakrata. Chakra means Kshatriya tendency. He was capable of ruling the world. There is one verse that says that Brahma detected that. Great acharyas like Brahma, they can detect the spark and they can fan the spark. Like George Allenson came to Prabhupada and said, Swamiji, all your devotees are saying they are all Sultan devotees. Would you like me to shave up and join you? He asked. Prabhupada said, no. You are a very big Beatles group in those days was so popular. In the airport when the Beatles group would land, People would just break all barriers and rush. Thousands of people would surround the plane inside the airport. No, but airport authorities wouldn't do anything. When George Harrison would come down the steps, so many people would want autograph and so many would come and the towel that he used and wiped his body and threw, somebody took that and cut it into this much pieces. One piece was like 1,000 pounds. It was very popular man. Prabhupada said they were very popular. I will give you some clue on how to write songs about Krishna. So Prabhupada will give you the clue for the famous song. What is the song? Sweet Lord. I guess he got many clues Prabhupada gave him. And he wrote many songs, feeling of separation from Krishna. So many people, the whole world was crying when they heard those songs. So Prabhupada was very happy. Prabhupada said that he has some talent. And the talent should be doubted in Krishna says. Joshi Sarvakarmani Krishna says. Vidwan Yukta Samacharan. A Vidwan means intelligent guru, doubted the talent of the disciple in Lord's service. But because George Harrison was also having a lot of money and big business circles he would associate, he could not follow all the four related principles. He will have to sometimes break. So Prabhupada was not ready to initiate him. But somehow some disciples, Prabhupada pushed him and said, "Come and ask Swami for initiation. You have come so far." And one day he asked Prabhupada, "Swami, many devotees are saying that I should get initiated." Prabhupada said that, "See, you are already called as George Harrison. Harrison means you are Hari's son." So you have nothing to worry. Lord Hari is mercy already on you. So although he was not initiated, although he didn't join the time, so Prabhupada engaged in very nicely in services which he felt he would be able to do the best. He gave some 20,000 pounds for printing Krishna book also. Right? He gave the whole nugget manna, which now is called as Bhagavatam. He gifted it to Prabhupada. So many nice things he did. So in this way, you can see that, surrender is not like some kind of stereotyped thing. Surrender can be, that's why dharma is also very Buddha, very deep. And once you know what is loyal dharma, what is liar dharma, what is highest dharma. So Bhagavatam dharma is highest dharma. So when we discuss various pastimes like this in the light of the current pastime of yoga, then we can see from various angles how to act in our own life when we are put in a situation, given a situation, how to act. And the most important thing is we should not show a lack of subordination to our superiors. Quoting these examples of Bhishma, Dhruva, four Kumaras. Like one boy was like, "Well, Kumaras refused to marry. You are telling me to get married. So I am also like Kumaras. I am not going to marry. I want to join full-time." Then I told him, "See, you say you want to join full-time. The very fact you are told to marry is because already you have a girlfriend." Kumaras never had a girlfriend. Kumaras are pure-hearted, and therefore they could say no. You want to have a friend, and then you still want to say you want to join full-time, but it doesn't make any sense. You are simply nonsense. I said, what is being told to you is you marry the same person whom you are with now, and get settled peaceful. Be a good grahastha. Bring that person also to Krishna consciousness, both of you to Krishna consciousness. So in this way, not accepting the instruction should not be done capriciously, independently, foolishly. One shouldn't do it. One has to be very, very thoughtful. Each of these persons are very exalted. And in this given pastime now, he obliged to Brahma's instruction because naturally he must have consulted Narada also. All the three are Mahajans, Brahma, Narada and Swayambhava. Three Mahajans are saying, two Mahajans are saying him to take responsibility. One Mahajan is saying, relax. So imagine there is an equivocal instruction between two authorities, what will he do? Later on, Narada also said, you can marry now. Because Brahma has come to say this, you will take the rule of the world. Now all the three Mahajans are aligned. So he didn't have to worry. He took responsibility. After marrying Radheshyam, she was extremely beautiful. When he married her, he became a little unbearable to her. And when he begot the son Agni, So at that time, Prabhupada had become a little deluded and he says that I am a clay toy in the hands of a woman. I become a rusty coat and all the dependence. But then because he followed Brahma's order, quickly he came to the realization. And he got out of the entanglement and became a pure devotee and went back to college. This is another thing. When pure devotees give a regulated program for a disciple who has still some inclination for self-gratification, because of following Guru faithfully, they can come out of that entanglement very easily. That's another proof also. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.